Hello, movie lovers, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to briefly analyze a meaningful film that everyone who uses TikTok but has never lost their dignity should watch. Get comfortable in front of the screen and let's get started. On May 21, 1962, more than 1,100 passengers were aboard an Italian liner named Antonio Gracia, which crossed the waters of the Atlantic Ocean. What kind of ship was it? The cook Francesco was about to prepare a song for the passengers, but they suddenly fell into chaos. The young girl who was the captain's daughter came aboard the liner and invited him to a party. Suddenly, someone pulled the emergency brake and the liner started to shake. The ropes holding the cargo broke unexpectedly and a fierce fight broke out on the deck. The passengers scattered in different directions. Soon after, people began dividing into groups at dawn. The captain was about to stand up, lifted his head, saw that his head was bleeding, and became even more terrified. We move 40 years ahead. The Arctic rescue team has towed a damaged oil platform to the port. Captain Murphy orders the platform to be disconnected from the tug and to return to the ship. However, the crew refuses to obey the order and prevents the platform from sinking. As a result, they manage to tow it and the platform is brought to port with its crew. After 6 months of sea travel, the return seems uncertain. The sailors want to go on vacation, but their friend Jack Farima, who is known in Canada as a pilot at the Abhava airport, arrives during patrol and reports seeing a large ship flying over the Mackenzie Bay which is not responding to radio signals. Jack offers information about 20% of what was found on the ship. Murphy's crew is skeptical but agrees, and Jack is told that he will receive 10% of the found treasure. He agrees, and the sailors, along with the mysterious ship, a few days later, see a large ship appearing on the radar at the appointed time. No one responds to calls. Suddenly, it appears on the radar. They try to avoid collision, but the tugboat crashes into the new ship. When the captain sees the ship, he realizes that it is the mysterious Antonio Gracia that disappeared 40 years ago. The few crew members who survived this incident board the ship and carefully inspect it to understand what happened on board. Unexpectedly, the girl from earlier appears on the ship but quickly disappears. When they try to catch her, she suddenly disappears into the fog but soon returns. When she comes out to the deck, she seems barely visible. Continuing the investigation, Murphy and his crew realize that before them is the same ship that sank in 1962, confirmed by the electronic equipment that started working after 1962. The crew returns to the tug and after repairs, they prepare to bring the ship to port, though the task seems difficult for the rescuers. The next morning, the survivors board the ship. Apps finds Basian, Gilza, and other traces. During the boarding, the girl suddenly appears, scares them, and falls asleep. The frightened Jack comes and helps her. After a while, Basian regains consciousness. Then the young men ask questions. At that moment, the radio picks up a signal and the crew asks who is calling. Later, Apps sees a group of young people with Jack Blamber. The women find a cigarette pack. Apps thinks it is her cigarette and leaves without seeing the woman in the red dress. The next gathering opens the prison. The ship is filled with gold. Murphy then orders the gold to be loaded onto the tug and the ship to be pulled. Before starting the loading, the Arctic tug's gas cylinder valve accidentally opens. At that moment, Apps runs along the deck. The engine malfunctions are reported, but she quickly recovers. The strong explosion damages the tug and the situation worsens. The following events reveal the misunderstanding with Antonio's ship. They realize that they have no choice but to stay, but the only option left is to close the crack in the ship's hull and pump out the water. The food on the ship starts to spoil. At this point, the girl, Apps, arrives and is searched by the passengers. She decides how to return and admits that she caused the accident. Later, she meets the captain's daughter. She reveals the whole truth. Antonio Gracia is the ship that disappeared long ago, and its spirit, along with the spirits of those who died, is trapped on the ship. Greer seems to be in a trance. There, he meets the cook Francesco, who helps him. Greer holds onto the elevator button. At that moment, a woman enters the ship beautifully, and her performance is unforgettable. Murphy meets the captain's daughter. 2 days before the disaster, gold was found on another sunken ship, which was taken aboard a liner. Murphy asks if someone was rescued from that ship. Captain Antonio signals that only a few people were saved. Later, Murphy is shown a photo, and at that moment he is deeply shaken. At this point, Apps wakes up, but Murphy blocks her and tries to confront her. In the end, Jack tries to calm Murphy down. They accuse Murphy of being a threat to the crew and lock him in the empty aquarium. Later, the survivors discuss the situation, and Apps tells the sailors that after the ship was sealed, the water started to rise. But they find it empty. At that moment, the captain's daughter suddenly appears and shows that the ship is actually active or alive. It is revealed that the captain's daughter has control over the liner's crew and has managed to manipulate everyone. To avoid disaster, they have to secure the ship with ropes. Someone shoots Basian and others are locked in cells. After a bloody night, the first assistant shoots those who tried to escape. Later, Francesco is killed by an unknown man at the same place. As he dies, the captain's daughter Apps returns to Murphy, but he refuses to believe her. The aquarium is filled with water. A photo falls from his hand. It shows the only person rescued from the sunken ship, Jack, whose image is depicted. Apps understands the terrifying truth about the ship's curse. Jack is the true ghost of the ship. Jack is forced to obey orders. We see that when he tries to escape, Jack uses a trick. Later, Apps prepares explosive materials. A new storm is coming and she warns Jack that the ship will sink. During the conversation, Apps realizes that Jack wants to imprison her. Then, if the ship sinks despite the captain's efforts, its other secrets will come to light. He offers Apps a deal for her life. Apps agrees, but Jack's resistance is insincere and the young men start using the explosive device. The liner begins to sink. The captain's daughter shows the girl the way out of the sinking ship. Apps escapes and the spirits of the ship's crew and friends are freed. The next day, the girl who was rescued is taken to the hospital. She looks towards the ship and sees several people who were previously on the ship with the gold. Among them is Jack. The film ends. Thank you for watching. The film continues until the next episode.